Hey everybody, it's October 28th. We're back from Stocktoberfest. Let's get back into the morning market rundown here. So we'll dive in with a little bit more detail and back out from a zoomed out picture. So we're talking about this recent decline to August 5th, and we have the bounce off the year-to-date VWAP low and the year-to-date VWAP price. So we see these 523, 524 area. We can see on our table. So we marked a handoff VWAP here, and that's that orange, that pink VWAP. So we rallied up, pulled back into that handoff, and we rallied again. So I placed another VWAP for a handoff, and that's brought us to this gap up and this square blue box I've left on the chart that we talked about in the previous videos where we were barcoding and using this gap VWAP as our line in the sand. And that brings us back to last week of Wednesday the 23rd, where that Thursday the 19th of September VWAP became support right here on Wednesday the 23rd. So just showing that how some price on the chart starts to look non-random. And what we have here is a fib extension from that rally up, the barcode consolidation, and then the break of that high, confirmation that we're still in that uptrend. So that fib extension from this rally up here and this pullback here has rallied up into that 0.618, recently pulled back 0.618% approximately to that Thursday VWAP, and now we're starting to rally back into that year-to-date VWAP high. So that's going to lead us, do we want to correct? Do we want to pull back a little bit deeper eventually in time back into this 569, 570 area, retest this, and then maybe fuel a push into 600 and 621, that golden fib? Or is this a little bit of a pullback here and we're going to start to get above this 581, that year-to-date volume weighted average price high, and start to give us that fuel already for that push into 599. So that's the daily time frame. Let's get into the intermediate time frame and talk about what could happen over the next couple days. So right now, we actually faded a little slightly on this gap up so far, and we could see Friday's VWAP is starting to act as support. So we have a gap up above Friday's VWAP, and now it's starting to act as support. So let's add a VWAP just from this high. And so this 579, 578 could be our potential level here. And we could see this VP node right up in this area. All right, so you have this VP level right here from 579 to 578. That could be our potential area as support. So potentially we see maybe a little bit further decline back into that 578 area we just talked about, get some shorts excited, right? And then they could get stuffed. So that could be a potential scenario, and that's the preferred scenario I would like to see now that we gapped up, digest that gap, and let's let the Friday's VWAP start to become support like we started to see in the pre-market right now. So we'll change that up. That's the 2-day VWAP. So let this pull a little bit deeper up in here, and then we could look for a play. And if you're short for the day, this could be where you could set up your short. But I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt to the primary trend. So you could keep it tighter here, or maybe risk a low here, or risk a low here. And if it starts to break under this 578, and we break below this VP node 578 area, then we could get a quicker fast decline back down to 576, this month to date VWAP, or back into 574 area, which is that Thursday VWAP. And we could see this previous level of resistance up in this area potentially act as support. So maybe this could bounce back up, and then so that's the potential scenario I'm looking for on the SPY. Let's get into the QQQ. So we'll start off with this daily time frame and get rid of some of the stuff from our previous videos. And so we can see we have the gap up above this previous VWAP, right? And we've been barcoding here. So we're starting to hold up in this area, and same situation. We're pulling back to that 2-day VWAP in the pre-market here. So maybe this is going to be an area where we could reclaim the daily VWAP and get going. So we'll make that price action. The daily VWAP starts to flatten out, and we start to see it be a support. And then we look for something up in this area to play with the stop, maybe down up in this area, or keeping it. Maybe we get a preferred little bit deeper pullback and we get some consolidation and go. Or maybe this VWAP fails and we start to trade underneath the 2-day VWAP. That VWAP fails underneath the 2-day, and then we have a multi-day VWAP reversal down into 593, 592 area. So this daily VWAP and that 2-day VWAP starts to coincide, and we get the average buyer over the past 2 days losing money. So they forfeit, which could start to give us a little bit further pullback back down to this 592 area. Let's delete some of this stuff here. So some of the stuff we talked about in previous videos. And clean this up a bit. All right. And clean this up a bit. So that would give us a pullback into this key level of 594 area. So we're monitoring a multi-day VWAP reversal, looking to get support at this 599 with a potential stop at this 598, or we start to break below 497 area and we get that further decline back to 494, 492. So hopefully this was helpful.